and we'll get started. All right, guys, happy Friday. Welcome to our Producers Club. Today we have a very special guest with us. This talented human being is co-owner of the Madam Molly team. She's a KW Maps coach extraordinaire. She's always bold. You can see it in her background. She also is the head of KW Prep and K Score for Keller Williams International. And I could not think of a better person to give you guys a good boost of energy to set you through to this weekend. Molly, we're so excited to have you on the call.
Wow, that was the nicest intro ever. Thank you.
It's easy. It's easy with you. It was like, do. I could have probably gone on for another 20 minutes.
Well, then that would have been fine with me. I'm just kidding. Oh, well, thank you. I'm really excited to be here. I'm going to share my screen with y'all if that's okay. Is that all right? I
Yeah,
already
go
did
for
it,
it.
so I hope you're going to say yes because it's done did. Do you see some shampoo on the screen? Did I do
Yes.
it right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Great. Then we're going to get started. First of all, I want to start by thanking your amazing leadership for being so invested in your growth and your happiness that they continue to work hard to make meetings like this entertaining and full of value. That is really tough to do. So, a little golf clap for your amazing leadership for bringing you here. And the best way you can thank them is by being engaged and paying attention. That way, you're going to create a win win. You might even learn something that leads you to production, which obviously helps you both. So today we're going to cover a little something I like to call mindset matters. If you're one who's choosing to take notes, I'm going to chat through a little intro here. I'm going to get a little foundation set, and then I'm going to highlight three small points. These three are going to be easy to remember every day so you can practice how to set, reset, grow your mindset, and then repeat that process. Just like washing your hair. See, I told you this slide would make sense. Just like washing your hair, if you've ever read the back of the shampoo bottle, it says for best results, lather, rinse, repeat. And I guarantee you it's the repeat part that makes it best. So when we're thinking about best practices in our mindset world, I just want to encourage everyone that it doesn't happen like that overnight. It's not like, cool, got this awesome lesson from Coach Molly. Everything's perfect now. It really is the repetition and the commitment to that repetition that makes a difference. So today, we are going to set a foundation in our mindset. We're going to learn to reset that mindset, grow that mindset, and then repeat that process because no matter your current surroundings, whatever's going on in your world right now, no matter the market, the politics, the interest rates, the fill in the blank, your kid threw up this morning, your contract terminated, you got a contract on a $5 million, it doesn't matter. No matter your current surroundings, life is a journey, and a journey brings movement. So, first and foremost, as we start off today, have faith in being moved by the lessons you learn, no matter where you are on the path of this journey, whether this journey, mindset journey for you is the 30 minutes that we're going to chat today, or the rest of today, Friday, the weekend, the month, the year, your career, your life, it doesn't matter. We've got to believe that lessons will move us. Gary Keller teaches us now in the new Onward Bold with truth number 2 that life is an inside job. Truth number 2 is that life is an inside job, and truly, it's our thoughts that define our experiences. So, I'm going to have a couple quotes from one of my favorite books today. Jeffrey Gitomer wrote this book called The Little Gold Book of Yes Attitude. I took a picture and put it there just in case you're a book junkie like me and you want to get it. Anyway, he teaches us in this book that positive attitude is defined as the way you dedicate yourself to the way you think. Aha, the definition for a negative attitude is exactly the same. I find this to be pretty fascinating because in bold, we might say it like this: what you focus on expands. So, in our minutes together, I want you to focus on the way you're thinking. In fact, pause for a second and let's start with the way you're thinking right now. Many of you have your video off. It might be because you have your email up and you're like, I want to multitask. Or you might think I look bad. I'm in the car. My kids are running around. I ain't got no pants on. I'm distracted. Whatever it is, the thoughts you have are driving that action. I'm going to use this point in time to encourage everyone to take yourself and put your little face on there. I promise you that when you can change your thinking, you'll change your world. Even if our world is only 24 more minutes together, what could you get out of this 24 minutes if you changed your thinking? Because the thoughts are going to impact and potentially define what you learn and how you experience our time together today. Here's the truth about our thoughts. They are always conditioning you. One way or another, your thoughts are conditioning you for growth and positivity, or they're conditioning you for complacency and comfort, or maybe even distraction. It's okay to have those things. It's not okay to not know the difference. So for whatever it drove you to be here today, I'm going to invite you to be here. If you're driving in your car, pull over. You might already be on the freeway and you're pulled over anyway because you're not moving. Whatever it is, though, give yourself permission to be where your feet are planted. It's always going to be the best decision. In a world where we've lost so much focus, giving yourself permission to get some of that back can be key. All right, so now you've got permission.
Hey, Molly,
Let's talk.
really quick.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt the flow. Really quick, can you share just the browser itself? We're seeing like your whole screen there with the
is that
note.
better?
Much better. Oh, that's
I don't want you
awesome.
reading my
Thank
notes.
you.
I've
No, I
practiced
want
this
to
a
see
million
the whole
times.
screen. That's why we're
Can you
good.
see
We're
it
good
now?
now.
Is that better?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah.
I keep my notes up because I know that I will get off track. You want to see a girl get off track? That's me. That's this girl. All right, cool. Thank you for letting me know that. That's really great. I've never shared using the mindset like or the Office 360. So can you see it now? Is it good?
Yep, you're good. Yep.
Big screen. All right. So let's pop back into it. This concept, what I'm talking about, choice attitude, what we're talking about today, this has been a foundational mindset that we, and when I say we, I don't mean like me and you, I mean we, like the collective humanity, we, all the people in the world, we've had access to this for decades and potentially even centuries. You can tell because we've got quotes like this: to think you can creates the force that can. That was in 1916. We've got think and grow rich. That's an old one. We've got how to win friends and influence people. My friends, we can go way back to seek and ye shall find. This is hundreds and hundreds of years ago. We can see that positive mindset has been a personal growth must do literally forever and ever. So the question then becomes, why don't we just do it? Why doesn't everybody just do it all the time? And we live in a world of unicorn farts and rainbow sprinkles. Well, I'm going to tell you why not. That's because it's hard. It is not easy, right? In this sense, mindset growth and intention is not about the chosen few. I wasn't born with this mindset. It's about the few who choose and fail at it, and then choose it again and fail and choose and fail and ultimately choose again. That's what's key here. Above all, first thing, you got to make a choice, knowing that this journey isn't for the faint of heart. It's not always easy. It's not always fun. There's no finish line. There are no medals. There are no trophies. Darn it. I really like trophies. Yet the medals, the trophies, all those prizes come together when you realize that this is all about the you get to become along the way. It has taken you years to develop the mindset that you've got in this moment, in this day, that drove you to take the action to be here and to be present, or to be here and be kind of present. And it took a lifetime of mindset for the people who decided not to be here today, right? Everything you've done up to this point has gotten you here. So, of course, it's going to take you that many years to develop the mindset that's going to serve you so that you can answer these questions. Who am I now? And who am I becoming? Because really, truly, life is about who we're becoming. So, with that, I'm going to dive us into these three simple tips so that after these 20 minutes, you can attach yourself to these little tips and you can run with it for the rest of your day, your weekend, whatever you choose. So, mindset matters. Back to basics. Tip number one: be committed. Be committed is the tip number one, because the truth of the matter is that sometimes our commitment is only as strong as our ability to recommit. So the first point of be committed is to be patient with that commitment. The you desire to become will show up when you work on that person daily. Not every once in a while, not when it's convenient, not when you feel like it. When we work on that person daily. My biggest hope today is that you're going to seize this opportunity to wake up every morning as a better version of yourself. I'm going to use a quick example. I want y'all to write this name down. Chris Nikich. And you might be like, cool, how do I spell that? Chris, like you would spell it, Chris, Chris. And then the last name is Nikich, Nikic. Because after this call, I want you to time block 20 minutes. You won't need that long, but that'll give you time to journey. It's only a 12-minute video, but I want you to watch the Chris Nikich story from Sports Center called 17 Hours. I promise you will not regret it, and it's going to teach you so much about what commitment is. Spoiler alert, just a warning, because it's okay. It's only 12 minutes. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. It's an incredible story about a man named Chris Nikich and his coach, Dan Grieb, who's a Keller Williams agent. And Chris Nikich is setting out to become the first person to finish an Ironman who has Down syndrome. And okay, another spoiler alert, it's a happy ending. But that happy ending comes from his commitment in all things, from his training routine to the actual day of the event and everything in between. Chris and his coach Dan and their team are committed to doing whatever it takes. When we got to interview Dan, since he is a Keller Williams agent down in Florida, us Bold coaches got to chat with him. He said that in their training plan with Chris, he was fascinated to see that they put things into patterns because that's easier for Chris to process. And so they needed to strengthen his upper body for the swim portion. So they got on this regimen where Chris was going to do one push-up on day one, two push-ups on day two, three push-ups on day three. See where I'm going with this. And the goal was to get to 365 push-ups. Well, in a row, y'all, that's a lot of push-ups. Well, the biggest aha, it was like, yeah, the biggest aha that I had is that Dan said that days number 5, 6, and 7 were actually harder for both him and Chris than day 100, day 150, day 300. 300 push-ups in a row was easier, he said, than the 6 push-ups in a row, the 7 push-ups in a row. And that's because of conditioning. And that's why commitment is so doggone important. It's being able to find that 1% better and just do it. Fight through what Chris calls the fake pain. When you watch this video, I want you to listen for the fake pain because I guarantee you, us real estate agents, man, we're good at finding fake pain and letting it just lay us out. But being committed to fighting through that, keep perspective and keep going is an incredible gift. So the definition of commitment, you may have heard me say it earlier, is doing whatever it takes. Gary Keller said on stage at family reunion, for anything truly important to you, try is an inappropriate word. I'm going to say that quote again because it was the one that slapped me in the face of all the cool things I learned at family reunion. He said, for anything truly important to you, try is an inappropriate word. Boy, is that impactful, right? There's two things to that. If it's not important, if it's not truly important to you, okay, then make a decision whether you're going to do or do not. But if something's really important to you, you're not going to try to do it. You're going to get it done. You're going to get it done through commitment. The reality is that in our business, success is rarely convenient. It is very rare that we get what we want by doing the things we want to do. Right? It's about doing what we've got to do to get what we want to get when we want to get it. And that's why mindset is so very, very important in our world. In fact, as I transition to Mindset Matters, back to basics, tip number 2, I'm going to end with this little old Zen saying. And I love this. I just want you to think about it for a minute. In fact, if you're a concentrator like me, close your eyes and just listen to this Zen saying. You ready? When my house burned down, I saw the moon more clearly. Wow. Right? Like that is mindset. That's perspective. Because the truth of the matter is, my friends, we can only find what we go looking for. And when it comes to goodness, positivity, happiness, those kinds of things, we've got to get after it. We must be committed to the daily habit of mindfulness to do it. So great transition. Let's keep talking about this because mindset matters. Back to basics. Tip number 2 is to be intentional. My note takers, be intentional. I even spelled it right for you at the bottom of the screen. So nice. We've got to be intentional when it comes to mindset matters. We've got to ask ourselves, how intentional and purposeful am I being to become that happiness hunter, to look for the good in the world? Seriously, are you conditioning yourself like an athlete to become a happiness hunter? Are you seeking happiness in every situation? Now, let's get real here. I want to make sure everyone hears me. This is not about denying reality. I'm not asking you to paint any false picture like Diana Kokoska used to teach us. I'm not asking you to take a smiley face sticker and put it over your gas gauge and drive into the desert with a smile on your face. That's not what we're asking you to do here. This is about acknowledging reality and then choosing how you will exist within it. That's the key here. Now, the good news is the more you work on it, oh, that's the intentional part. The more you work on it, the less negative will impact you, the less vulnerable you'll be to negativity. That is conditioning your mindset by design. Now, as far as I can tell on the screen, I've only got 4 people with their video on, so I'm not sure for sure. But as far as I can see on the team, every single one of us is human. So that means every single one of us is going to mess this up. We are all going to default at times back into the victim uniform. Do my friends here know what victims wear? Do you know what the victim uniform is? Good, I'll tell you. Victims wear poopy pants, right? Victims throw pity parties. And that's going to happen sometimes, right? Yet here's the key. The growth comes from recognizing you put the pants on. You threw that party. When we recognize that it's us that makes those choices, then we get to decide. We own the uniform we put on. Am I going to wear poopy pants or purpose pants? It's up to me. Am I going to sit around in my poopy pants and whine about the real estate market? Or am I going to throw a pity party or a production party? It's up to you. Because the truth is, the attitude that you choose to wear and adopt is up to you. It's completely up to you. Some days it's easier to make that decision than others, but here's the key to this process. Remember, I said it's rinse, lather, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. It's getting used to being able to get yourself out of that spiral faster. And that's what's going to lead us to Mindset Matters back to basics number 3. A little bit longer here. Take responsibility for everything you can. My favorite thing to teach and coach to is this point right here. You actually get your power back by taking ownership and responsibility for the status of your situation. Not that everything is your fault per se, but it's about recognizing what's within your control. I'm going to say that part again. It's about recognizing what's within your control. I'm going to give you 2 hints on that. It's what you think and what you do. That's it. That's all you have control over. What you think and what you do. Period. End of story. So it's about understanding what you can't control and then being honest about it. Because the truth of the matter is, my friends, watch out. I'm going to get coach serious here for a second. Those yeah buts, those blaming, those excuses, those are just cheap, self-deprecating ways to justify your own failures. Man, they told us this lady was going to be nice and fun. I understand sometimes the truth hurts, but please remember the truth shall set you free. The key to this, my friends, is it's not perfect. Take a deep breath. It's fine. It's not about making all the right choices all the time. The easy street is okay to take sometimes. Just don't lie to yourself about the choice you made to take it. Because the truth is, those lies, those yeah buts, and those excuses, they simply rob your ability to learn from that choice, grow from that choice, and come back better next time. That's the key with Be Responsible. When you can see how your DNA shows up in every failure, every success, and everything in between, then you give yourself the ability to learn from it and grow from it. That's how we provide ourselves the opportunity to do what Gary says, which is to fail forward. You can succeed forward too. Please don't hear me say that you have to be failing. It's just about understanding how you're going to show up within it. Here's another fun old quote. Aldous Huxley said, "It's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you." The key to life, y'all, is recognizing where you exist within it, finding out what's within your control, and then being in charge of that. Because the truth of the matter is, negative thoughts are incredibly impactful. They have a legitimate physical and psychological and physiological impact on your life, your health, and even your performance. So I'm going to read this to you. Y'all pretend that I'm one of those, I'm a pill salesperson and I'm on TV and I'm saying, this is a pill you should swallow. It's a pill called negativity. It may have these side effects. It'll drain your energy, block positive thought, cause stress, cause worry, cause illness, block creative thought, cause errors, reduce productivity, cause anger, prolong painful situations, affect the way you listen to others, affect the way you communicate with others, affect the way you deal with others, and take the fun out of your life. How many of us would say, that sounds great, I'll take it? None of us, right? Nobody would willingly swallow the pill that is negativity, yet we default into saying yes to negativity all the time because crappy people happen, crappy situations happen, like stuff happens in our world. It happens all the time. But here's the thing, and this is the big lesson for today. These situations, these people, that stuff, it's either going to grow you and your mindset journey, or it's going to break you and your mindset journey. And that is determined by how you choose to take responsibility for your DNA within it. Y'all, you can have a real crappy day and experience some real crappy people, and you can use that as leverage to learn, wow, look how calm I stayed in this situation. I didn't have to choose to get frustrated. I didn't have to choose to flip that driver off, right? It's about understanding your choice and stopping the spiral, giving yourself an opportunity to grow. Simon Sinek, this is probably one of my absolute favorite quotes in the history of the universe. He says, the common denominator in all of my failed relationships is me. Oh, thanks, Simon. When we choose to own that, when we choose to grow from that, that's when we're able to create the person who learns how to win that life by design. This is the epitome of life by design. So, mindset matters, back to basics, focus, little recap here. Number one, be committed and be patient with that commitment. Let go of perfect and learn to celebrate simply being aware. I put on here, you can see on the screen, sometimes my greatest win of the day is I admit I put on the poopy pants. That's a win. I can grow from that. I'm committed to learning from the choices I make. Number two, be intentional. Refocus every day, every hour, and every moment on how purpose plays a part. And I put an additional note right there because this is key, especially when it's hard, especially when you don't want to. Those should be the triggers for you to really, really hunker down and grow. Because it's in the moments where mindset is hard or you just don't want to be the bigger person, those are the moments that'll grow you the most. The minute you know it's not your fault, the minute you know the other person is wrong and you can pause, calm yourself down, and be intentional about how you're going to show up, those are the moments that will change you the most. And then finally, number three, be responsible. Take all the responsibility you can get your hands on. Ownership gives you your power back. Understanding what's within your control gives you all the power in the world. It's literally like you become a superhero. So remember that what we learn becomes part of who we are. I have no idea what that little squiggly line circle is, but I like it, so we're going to keep it. It's totally fine. What we learn becomes part of who we are. One of my other favorite Gary quotes is, education without implementation is just entertainment. And while I trust that you've had fun today and you've been entertained, it's about implementation. So the greatest way to thank the leaders who brought you this opportunity is that gift. Implement something, make changes, track your growth, find your path, sign up for a bold, be here next week with your video on whatever it is. I want you to find a way to implement some change and then share that joy with other people. One of the coolest things we can do is take what we learned, implement it, and then impact someone's life in a positive way as well. That is the end of the presentation phase.
Holly, that was amazing. Did you notice that you had a bunch of cameras start to pop on like
I did, and it made me so proud.
right?
That's amazing.
Obviously, we love it when everyone joins us in the morning. But Molly, that was absolutely fantastic. What a wonderful perspective. And it just reminds us how many choices we have every day in our life, in our business, and how much we can feel empowered rather than feeling controlled by the
That's
things
right.
to us,
There's
right?
so many things we can't control. I mean, literally 99% of the things that happen around us in a day are completely outside of our control. There's things we can influence, things we can impact, but at the end of the day, it's almost just a relief to say, okay, all I can actually control is this right here. There's
Mhm.
freedom in that. So if that's all you can control, control it well. Do good work.
I love that. There's freedom in that. There's freedom in our minds and the way that we think. Molly, thank you so much for joining me. Before you leave, though, I know that you are still a big part of your real estate team and growing that business down there. Talk to us more. What areas do you serve? How can we
Aw,
connect potential referrals to you? Walk us through that.
you are the sweetest. Well, yes, we are in the beautiful town of Asheville, North Carolina, real close to y'all. So close. I know that we have something in common. You all were greatly impacted by an event you had no control over. You may have heard that Asheville, North Carolina was also very impacted by an event we had no control over, Hurricane Helene. But these mountains are coming back strong, just as I know your areas are and will. We're both very resilient areas. So if there are places that you'd like to come visit totally across the country, Asheville, North Carolina is the main area that the Matt and Molly team serves. We also serve the mountains of Western North Carolina. And if I can ever just even be a resource, you don't have to remember where I am. Just think Molly, think North Carolina, smash them together. You can reach out to me. I have the easiest email address in all of KW, I think. It's molly@kw.com. My team address is molly at, and it's a lot worse, the Matt and Molly team.com, but you can reach me at either one. And yes, we love handling your referrals. Asheville's a great area. People in California tend to love to come this way too. So holla at your girl. We would love to take care of any referrals, investments, anything you need. Thank you for asking that. That means a lot.
Of course. You guys, big round of applause for Molly. Thank you. Connect with her. Thank you, Molly. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep helping coach our new licensees and agents that are getting involved in this industry. That is the next generation that we're going to see over season, over season, over season. And it's a good fight. So thank you very much. You guys take all of this information, go out. Think about that 1% better. What can you do today that's going to make you better? What can you do tomorrow that's going to make you better? All of that is something that we can control and empower that muscle to get the things that you want in your business this weekend. Thank you so very much. You guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks
Proud
again,
of
Mom.
y'all for being
Thank
on. Thank y'all.
you.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to
You're
see
Thank
great.
everyone.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Molly.
Molly.
Molly. Thank
Later.
Halley.
Welcome, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.